You take a selfie, your nose looks huge. A group photo, everyone at the edges looks stretched. A picture of dinner that somehow looks better than the actual meal. Billions of photos, captured daily by cameras quietly rewriting reality before you ever see the result. Your front lens alone can make your nose appear 30% larger than it actually is. And that's only the beginning of what your camera is hiding. This warping is a direct result of simple geometry. To help you easily fit friends and scenic backgrounds into the frame, phone manufacturers design front-facing cameras with wide-angle lenses. Typically, these lenses have a focal length equivalent to 23 to 25 millimeters, covering a wide field of view between 70 and 108 degrees. But this extra space comes with a major trade-off. When you hold your phone 30 centimeters from your face, the lens is significantly closer to your nose than to your ears. This dramatic difference in perspective causes your central features to balloon in size, while your ears and shoulders seem to shrink away into the background. It is why a quick selfie looks so jarringly different from the familiar, flat reflection you see in your bathroom mirror every morning. This exact same physics explains why people standing at the outer edges of a group photo look oddly stretched and pulled. It is a universal rule of optics that applies to every smartphone, whether you use an iPhone, a Samsung, or a Pixel. When you are dealing with a wide-angle lens, closer always means more distortion. Even if you could somehow fix the physical warping of the lens, another layer of invisible alteration happens the instant you press the shutter. Without ever asking for your permission, your phone immediately begins acting as a quiet, automated portrait editor. On many Samsung devices, a feature called beautify is active right out of the box, silently smoothing out skin texture and softening pores. Google chose to disable default face retouching on its Pixel line starting in 2020, but the option remains a quick toggle away. Meanwhile, Apple bundles subtle skin adjustments directly into its smart HDR and deep fusion processing. Because this computational pipeline runs automatically behind the scenes, you cannot easily turn it off inside the native camera app. This means that when you capture a photo, you receive an algorithm's polished translation of your face instead of a raw document of reality. When you look at the screen, your skin might appear airbrushed, your blemishes erased, and your features subtly reshaped. But this automatic polishing comes with a strange side effect. Instead of feeling satisfied with the flawless image, you might feel a quiet, unsettling disconnect. The face looking back at you is clean and bright, but it feels unfamiliar. The real emotional sting of modern smartphone photography comes when the camera quietly edits away the tiny, genuine details that actually make you look like yourself. When you take a photo, the camera does not just smooth your skin, it completely rewrites the environment around you. Have you ever noticed how a dimly lit restaurant table suddenly looks bright and clear on your screen? Or how your dinner looks richer, deeper, and far more appetizing in the photo than on your actual plate? This is not a passive recording of light. It is active, real-time painting. The moment you tap the shutter, complex software goes to work. If you are on a Pixel, Google's HDR+, a burst merge system introduced in 2014, instantly snaps a rapid succession of frames and blends them together, suppressing noise and lifting dark shadows. On an iPhone, Apple's Deep Fusion kicks in, capturing 8 pre-shutter frames and 1 longer exposure, stitching them together pixel by pixel to make the image pop. These tools are engineering marvels designed to solve a physical problem. Tiny phone sensors struggle in low light. But to give you a photo that is instantly ready to share, they also make creative choices for you. That sunset you photographed is pushed toward a dramatic, fiery orange that never actually existed. The shadows under the trees are artificially brightened. It is a deliberate design philosophy, optimizing for maximum visual impact rather than absolute reality. Because in the world of modern smartphones, looking better and looking exactly like real life are two completely different things. Your reflection in the bathroom mirror is actually a lie you have spent a lifetime falling in love with. A mirror does not show your real face, it shows a horizontally flipped version. This is the image you have trained yourself to recognize over thousands of hours. because of a psychological concept called the mere exposure effect, first identified by psychologist Robert Zions in the 1960s. The human brain naturally prefers things it sees most often. When you snap a selfie, the camera does the exact opposite. It records your face in its true, unflipped orientation. This is how the rest of the world sees you, but to your own eyes, it feels completely wrong. The tiny asymmetries we all possess, a slightly crooked smile, a parting in your hair, or one eyebrow that sits a fraction higher than the other, are suddenly reversed. Your brain immediately registers this unfamiliarity as a flaw. You look at the photo and think, that is not me, translating a harmless optical flip into subjective ugliness. This discomfort stems entirely from familiarity, not physical appearance. This psychological disconnect is the foundation of selfie dissatisfaction. When phone manufacturers layer digital skin smoothing and wide-angle warping on top of an unflipped image, the face looking back at you does not just feel different, it feels like an entirely different person. This automatic styling is incredibly helpful when a brightened photo rescues a family memory from a dark restaurant. But when software constantly reshapes human features, the consequences extend far beyond a nicer picture. A 2020 study found that editing selfies directly correlates with higher body dissatisfaction. The psychological impact is real. The American Psychological Association reported that cutting social media use by half for just 3 weeks significantly improved appearance esteem in young adults. This pressure has even prompted international legal action. In 2021, Norway passed a law requiring paid influencers to label any retouched images with a standardized government warning. What started as a clever engineering fix for low light has quietly altered how we view our own faces. You can prove this manipulation right now with a simple 3-photo test on your own phone. First, take a standard selfie at arm's length under your usual indoor lighting. This is the baseline, complete with wide-angle distortion and automatic skin smoothing. Next, step 6 to 10 feet away, switch to the rear camera, and use a 2x zoom or crop in later. This physical distance eliminates the lens warp entirely, giving your nose and ears their true-to-life proportions. For the final shot, find a window with soft, natural light instead of harsh overhead bulbs, go back to the selfie camera, and manually toggle off every face retouching setting. Line these 3 images up side by side. You will see exactly how much computational paint and lens warping have been rewriting your face. It turns out, getting an honest photo does not require a professional studio, just a few steps backward and a closer look at the settings we usually ignore. Next time you tap the shutter, remember, your phone isn't a mirror, it's an artist. The most beautiful version of you is the one right in front of the lens, not the one on the screen. How do you feel about these hidden edits? Tell me below and subscribe.